Had to make sure I wasn't muted. Good afternoon. We are back. It is Monday. It's another week. We are out here. We are continuously being consistent. I'm back with another segment of showing up clearly on your social media. More specifically, building a clear online presence. Okay, that is what we're talking about this month. I'm your host, Ebony Rose. I'm a social media consultant. I am so thrilled. I'm trying to be more relaxed in my videos. I don't think I'm like not relaxed, but I want these to really feel like, we're sitting having a conversation. I hope that you all have felt that way throughout the last month and a half with me coming live and talking to you about different topics. Yesterday's was a really good one, by the way. When people don't know what it is that you do, that one was, I was like really excited to record that one because I really resonated with that one because I dealt with that like very heavily in my first brand that I did. And I did talk about, my journey of rebranding and what I did and all of that stuff. So anyway, that was a little detour. But yeah, I've been going live every single day at 1 p.m. Monday, not Mondays. Today's Monday. And I've just been so excited and proud of myself, for even sticking with this. This is a lot to dedicate your time to record videos. And, I batch up my time and I make sure that I am focused on what I'm posting on which day, which topic is getting used on which day, and making sure that I dedicate time just to record, right? That's for me, that's the hard part, is sitting and recording all of these videos, because sometimes I'll batch them up and I'll do them four at a time, or I'll try to knock out a full week to give me like a little break in between, because I have other things that I need to do. I can't just sit here and work on my brand. Although I would love to do that. But anyway, so we are here again with another topic. And today we're going to be talking about visibility without oversharing. How many oversharers do we have out there? I'm not one of them, but I'm asking, are you an oversharer? Like, do you tend to get on your social media, or not even just social media? Are you a person that when you're in a group of people or just like one-on-one with somebody and you just overshare, you just tell all your business, you just say whatever comes to your mind? There's no filter, like there's no type of like social awareness or whatever, or personal awareness. We love you. We need you in the world, right? But specifically, this is for the business owners, the entrepreneurs, those that are trying to be visible online, be professional online, get their message across, be clear about their message. This is who this message is for today, okay? So outside of that, do what you want to do. But specifically for your business, I want you to listen in, tune in, like, and subscribe to this channel so that you can keep getting these tips every single day this month, okay? We are almost halfway through. Well, actually, no, I think we made it halfway through. I think today would be like the halfway mark, actually. And we have about 15 more days to go. And that'll be the end of this segment. So today is visibility without oversharing. That is our topic. Did you subscribe yet? Go ahead and subscribe. Visibility does not require sharing everything, okay? Just because you're visible on social media, that does not mean let me share my business, let me share my life, right? Be focused on the topic that you're sharing and don't overshare. Don't veer off into something else. Kind of like what I did in the beginning of this video. You like how I did that? You like how I did that? You don't want to veer off, getting off topic a little bit here and there is not bad. Like, I'm not saying like be perfect and be this robot, like, no, but visibility doesn't require sharing everything. I'm gonna get to the boundaries towards the bottom, but we gotta set some boundaries on what we share, who we give access to what we share, all those things, right? Especially when it comes to business and different aspects of what you're doing for your business. Now, for me, if I'm with a client one-on-one, I'm going to share more than I'm sharing here with you all, right? That's a different aspect. That's a different relationship. That's a different dynamic, right? So it all depends. And you have to kind of use like your discernment when you're doing it. Like, okay, what can I share here? What can I not share? So don't share everything, right? That's not going to help you be more visible, right? The difference between transparency and overexposure, right? It's okay to be transparent. People actually gravitate towards transparency. Some people, it makes them uncomfortable with how transparent you are. That's a them problem, right? But I feel like being transparent in certain aspects can actually help your viewer versus then not help them, right? Because we all go through in this world, and some of us go through and experience the same thing or something similar, right? When it comes to anything in our life. But right now, specifically, I might have to pause this because my dog might start barking, but specifically when it comes to business, a lot of us entrepreneurs, we go through the same thing. We deal with some of the highs and some of the same lows that, you know, other entrepreneurs and business owners may deal with, right? So you can be transparent about your experience with that. But overexposure, when I say that, I'm like, okay, you can talk about what happened, but don't like bring in your personal family life. Like, oh, this did this to my marriage, or this. We don't need to know that, okay? We don't need to know that. Now, again, if you're doing a one-on-one with a client and that comes up, or you feel like that may help them, that's up to you. That's up to your discretion to do that one-on-one. It's more private, it's more intimate, but this is like to the world. Like my YouTube channel, anybody has access to this. And I am picking and choosing what information I want to share on this platform when it comes to this topic, right? So you have to know the difference between being transparent and then overexposure. You don't want to overexpose yourself, especially too early if you're just now starting this. You don't want to overexpose yourself, right? It could turn people off. Some people, it may not bother, right? But you have to kind of you have to like, that's like a game you got to play with. You got to pick and choose what you're going to say sometimes. And you know, that's a that's an iffy topic that I'm not going to dive into too much on here, but I hope you get what I'm saying when I say that. So keep your messages focused on value, right? Keep your message focused on value. You always want to go back to the value. Why are you presenting yourself to us right now? What value am I getting from watching you? What value am I getting from taking your course or reading your ebook or whatever it is, right? Keeping your messages focused on value is what is going to keep you exposed in a good way, right? We want the good exposure to come from our brands. We want people to see our content, see our products, see anything that we're offering, and we want them to come back because it has value. Our message that we are spitting out there has value, okay? Boundaries are part of professionalism, okay? I said I was going to get to boundaries. You need to have boundaries, right? You cannot just be on social media talking about anything, right? Like for me, for instance, if I'm on here every day at 1 p.m. saying that I'm going to be talking to you about how you can clearly show up on social media, I'm not going to talk about a problem that I have with a client. You know, I'm not going to start, you know, saying, oh, and she did this and she knows she should have did that. And that's no, you got to have boundaries. Don't talk about everything on here. And don't even do that in your client sessions. You never ever bring up other clients to bash them to do, and that's all self-explanatory, right? I'm getting off track here, but boundaries are a part of professionalism. You have to have boundaries with anything you do in business, especially when it's content. If you're doing a webinar, if you're doing a if you're hosting a course, if you are anything that has you speaking, if you're going live, you know, there's certain social media etiquette that you need to have. I did touch on this in my previous brand. I would have to find that video, social media etiquette, what to say, what not to say, how to dress, and, you know, what not to wear, and all that stuff, right? But have boundaries, okay? When you're sharing things about your expertise, when you're sharing things about whatever it is that you're working on, just make sure you're not oversharing, and make sure you have that boundary in place. Like, okay, this is as far as you're going to get because I'm trying to be professional, but still give you value. Okay. So being present without giving away your privacy is another one, right? You don't, that's my dog. He sees somebody outside, so I'll be right back. Okay. I don't even know where I left off, but we're just going to keep going, right? Oh, that's what I was saying. Being present without giving away your privacy, right? There's a way to do that. Like a lot of influencers that I see that are big influencers and business owners, they like to keep their, where they live private, and not saying, oh, you're home by yourself, because sometimes you can easily access people's addresses, but just be cautious of that, okay? Be present. Don't show all your business in your house, or just be mindful of that. Be present on social media. Even if you're like out in an open field, that's fine, right? But I'm talking specifically in your home. Please have the boundary set. Be in a secluded location like how I am. You clearly know I'm in my bedroom, right? You clearly can see that, but it's blurred out. You can't see everything. So you just have to be mindful when you're doing social media stuff. And this is not like a huge thing, but I just feel like I just need to throw it out there. Be mindful when you're sharing, okay? Don't overshare. Don't overcomplicate your message. Stick to your message. Be focused on what it is that you're talking about and keep it moving, okay? Like in my client sessions, it's a very intimate setting, right? And a lot of my clients I know, so it's like different. So they'll see a different side of me, or they'll see like more of my home, or they'll see a little bit more of my humanity side. But you have to pick and choose what you're trying to be. Are you trying to be this professional face on social media where you're sharing tips and you're giving some wisdom out to people that are looking for it, that want to hear what you have to say? If so, be clear about your message. Don't overcomplicate it. Keep your message focused on the value. Be transparent, but don't overexpose yourself. Keep boundaries, because that's part of being professional. And don't give away your whole privacy. Don't give away your whole life, but be present, right? That is what you need to do when you are being visible on social media. Okay, visibility doesn't mean let me spill out everything. That's not what that means, right? So I hope this helped. I feel like it was all over the place. Then I had to stop because of this dog, but it's okay. It is all good. Yeah, so you can visit my website. It is scrolling across the screen. You can visit my website if you would like to work with me and book a strategy session. Go to my website, go to the Work With Me tab, and click on the strategy sessions, and let's get you started on being more visible on social media in a clear, purposeful way that's going to elevate your confidence and your brand. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please make sure you like and share and subscribe to my channel. Leave your feedback in the comments, and I will see you tomorrow at 1 p.m.